Hello, beautiful people. I'm super excited to share with you my aha from this morning's meditation. Let's see. I feel like this aha can really shift things for all of us. And it's so simple. So I've been feeling a little edgy lately and I've been asking some questions around it. So the power of a question is not to get an answer, but to eventually have some broader awareness. And what I came to was that when I asked the question, what is this edginess about? What can I shift? What can I be, know, or do? How does it get better than this? I just started asking these open-ended questions and then just sitting with the energy of the question. And what came to me was that, wow, I started writing. I am so lucky and I am so blessed with the things that come easeful to me. And when I started to write that on my paper, like I am so lucky and I'm so blessed, and I can name the things that came to me, but it's going to be different for each one of us. But when I was able to tune into the awareness of feeling lucky and blessed for how I am showing up in the world, my personality with light coming through, right? Our embodiment of the divine. When I step into that and allow that and feel lucky for it rather than try to shift it, change it, or snuff it, or all of a sudden, what happened to me, and this was, I didn't expect this. All of a sudden, my allowance grew for everyone else on the planet too. And my point of focus shifted so that my point of focus was on their unique attributes and the blessing that they are in the world. You see, I was starting to get agitated recently, and I was just like, what's going on? And a lot of times when we're in personal practice and we're meditating a lot, we're like living moment to moment consciously, and yet agitation comes up. A lot of times we're on the brink of transforming to a different frequency. And so I felt like this is what was happening, but I didn't know how this was going to shift or what was going to shift, or because I was like, wow, how long do I have to live with this agitation, this edginess? And we'll see how today goes, but this was huge. Seeing yourself as blessed and lucky. Everything starts with us. Everything starts with the macrocosm and goes out to the, everything starts with the microcosm and everything goes out to the macrocosm. So start with you. If you're having a hard time, this is a hard time in history, right? We all have some very different points of view. And what if they're all okay? What if we don't all have to bat up against them? What if we're all allowed to have our point of view? What if everyone can be themselves and their choices? And what if we didn't have to get annoyed or aggravated or edgy around it? So, when I asked for awareness around the edginess, this is what happened. Find your blessings and feel super lucky to have them. Now, for me, I have some strange blessings that I've kind of got ridiculed a lot through my life for them. So I always was trying to be different, thinking that, this must be something I need to fix in me. This must be something wrong. And so for years, with personal practice and personal growth and spirituality and, wellness and all this kind of stuff, I've spent a lifetime, now I'm 48, trying to be different. And all of a sudden, this huge epiphany of like, you're lucky. You're really lucky and you're super blessed to be who you are. And I was like, oh my gosh, receive that. You watching this are so lucky. You are so blessed with the attributes that you have as this person on the planet, just as you are. So, these are the things I'm lucky to be. Impatient. I have a certain impatience to me, which makes me want to do things quick. I want to transform quick. I'm impatient. But there's some real attributes to that. I have a poor memory. I cannot remember things, and it's a big joke to my family, but I don't remember my childhood too much. I don't remember things, which is a huge blessing because I actually don't live in the past very much. It's very easy for me to step and move forward. Now, some would call that being a little cold or callous, and I'm not very sentimental. A little bit, but not too much. So all of that really helps me live in the present moment. And while I've been ridiculed and got down on myself for some of these things, today I looked at, oh my gosh, I am so lucky. Another thing is I process grief and loss very quickly. Another thing I have been ridiculed about. And so the thing is, people, your attributes may look like your negative points, but they are blessings and you are lucky. There's somewhere in there that is such a blessing for you, and that attribute will be a blessing to others too. So, in looking at my attributes and feeling super lucky today, that point of view focus has really let me see like, oh, well, if someone's the complete opposite of me, super emotional, super living in their past, super sentimental, and that's different than me. Instead of getting kind of edgy around it or wanting to be left alone, now I can just feel like, wow, they're so lucky and so blessed to have that. It's different than me, but they're so lucky. And who knows what's that's going to bring to their lives. So what really became clear is that even though we all have a thread of oneness, we all have very unique expressions of that oneness through this embodiment. And we're all going to have very, very, very different ways of living and processing and different vibrations that we're living and different frequencies. And we're all going to be traveling and expanding the universe in our own particular way. This just grew my allowance for what's happening on the planet, what's bombarding me in social media, what I've been having a little bit of contemplation with myself and what's happening with me since our quarantine time. I have felt like I have shifted, like it feels like years since our stay-at-home order, and so much processing, shifting, and sloughing off, right? If everything's a frequency, then what's been happening is I have been basking in certain frequencies, and that tub is getting lukewarm. And I'm kind of stepping out of that tub of frequency and ready for a different frequency. And getting out of that lukewarm tub to, the chilled water, it's uncomfortable, That metaphor is kind of funny. How many times have you felt agitated getting out of the tub and feeling freezing, right? And it's just for a moment until you get your cozy robe on, right? And all of a sudden, like your new vibration feels really good. And I feel like that's what's happened today. And perhaps you are going through that too, because if I'm going through it, I'm sure someone else on the planet is going through that too. As we shift our vibration, it can feel uncomfortable for a little bit, a little edgy. And as we put our new vibration on, it starts to feel really good. We have an allowance. We have a lightness. Follow that lightness. And consider yourself lucky for all the attributes and all the things that make you you in this body, while still aligning with the divine light, with your ascended self. And so this is how we proceed. Carolyn Mace called it the journey of the modern mystic, as we have to embody our divine consciousness into these bodies. Where in the past, people would go ascend and leave their bodies. They would go into a cave, right? In this modern era, we are asking to bring God, God's source, into the modern day. And we are becoming modern mystics, the ones who are being called to live this lightness, this vibration in just the regular day-to-day. And sometimes it's not super easy, you know, and perhaps videos like this can help us feel more connected and less alone on our mission that we're feeling called to do. I find a lot of joy and relief in watching the Abraham Hicks videos. And what I love about her is, her message is that follow our joy. And there's no other real question to ask. There's really no other problem. If we're willing to follow the lightness and follow our joy, no matter what, and trust the outcome, whatever it may be, and it's probably going to be different than we might have thought. But I'm hoping that this video and these past videos, these past 22 videos, give you a spark of like, oh yeah, like we're on this journey together, you know, as star seeds, light beings, just someone on a quest for awareness and highest consciousness, and being beacons for that on this planet. That's what we're doing. And thank you so much for tuning in. And may you feel so lucky and so blessed today for all you bring to who you are and all that, and how that is of service to the planet. The microcosm first affects the macrocosm. Everything that's happening right now on our planet started from a frequency in the microcosm. And this is the rippled manifestation of it, as of a collective, okay? Macrocosms tuning in together, creating a collective, and then whatever's happening right now, the pandemic, the disease process, everything. It's a frequency response from the universe to something that started in someone's microcosm and then rippled out. Let's ripple out a different vibration. Feel lucky today. Feel blessed. And watch how that ripples out into just having so much allowance for others. And what does that create in the universe? And what does that create in our world and in our cultures? All right. All right, you lucky and blessed people. I will see you tomorrow for day 24 of Brilliant Possibilities. See that subscribe button, that red button right there? Why don't you click on it and turn it gray and join our Possibility tribe. Take care.